Hey, good buddies, what's up, and welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Review. I am your good buddy, Roger.
And I am your good buddy, Brandon.
And we got a really fun one this week. It's a very down-to-earth, grounded series.
Yet, despite that, freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
It still managed to be, like, so fun and so...
Yeah, it is...
wacky, despite being at times a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's like, you know... When you hear the title, or like you even see the characters and stuff like that, or even maybe even hear the premise,
it's pretty easy to write it off.
You're gonna think, yeah, that it could be something you won't like. But let us tell you about why you might like this anime. We're talking about Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season.
Yes, and it is for sure my favorite show from last season.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's quite good. But Roger, we're gonna tell our good buddies about this show. We're gonna give them a little breakdown. We're gonna tell them all about it, and we're gonna give it a final review of recommendation. That is, do we, your good buddies, Roger and Brandon, think y'all, our good buddies universe out there, should check out this show?
Absolutely.
And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna give it a final score, which could be one of a few different things. And Roger, if it was straight up trash, what would you call that?
I'd call it an anime, maybe not.
If it was like not great, but it wasn't the worst.
Anime.
It's average. It was fine.
Hey, it's an anime, maybe.
It's actually pretty good though. Nothing wrong with that.
Animo's definitely my guy.
But if it was so good, Roger, if it was amazing,
dude, that would be animazing.
It would be animazing. And the way we're gonna get there is we're gonna give it a out of 10 stars, a possible 10 stars. We're gonna do 5 different categories, 2 stars each. Total possible of 10. That's how math works. And Roger, what is that first category we're going to talk about?
The story and setting.
The second one.
The characters and development.
Roger, number 3, please.
The art and animation.
Number 4.
That soundtrack.
And finally, Roger, that good buddies room, that 5th category, that
je ne sais quoi.
Roger, what does that mean?
I do not know what.
I don't know what. But that's how we're going to do it, and that's how we're going to get into it. So let me hit you with a quick pitch, and let's hit this thing, man. So, Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season is at its heart, it's a coming-of-age story. Pure and simple, that's what it is. And it's not like we haven't seen before. There was actually a really great one last year, around January, that I didn't catch till later, called...
Yeah, Domestic Girlfriend.
No. No, it was A Place Further Than the Universe, which is very good. But it's not like we haven't seen come-of-age stories before. But where this one manages to differentiate itself is it focuses, not unlike some other ones, purely on an all-female cast, an all-woman cast.
Yep.
High school girls, they're in their literature club, but specifically, this has the gall. It has the cojones, if you will, to go and just talk like this is about them coming into their sexual age. They're blossoming into sexuality. They're realizing that, and it's the terror of like, what are these feelings? Why can't I stop thinking about it? Why can't I stop thinking about them? And the truly shocking realization that it's not just them that are going through this.
Right.
And it's a very, very interesting story in that. And it all at once somehow managed to be heartfelt, hilarious, uncomfortable, pretty painful, and somehow still manages to squeeze in a couple of dong jokes.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
It does.
I really like it. But that's a quick pitch for you. Let's go right into the story and setting. Takes place mostly in and around this high school.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
We do get a couple of shots where they're going around. It's mostly focused on 5 girls in the literature club, which we will get to in the characters and development. I feel like a lot of the story is actually going to come from our characters development talk. But yes, it's these 5 girls in the literature club who basically it starts with them having read this passage from a book that is clearly a sex scene, although using some flowery language, more poetic than, just straight up erotica. But they have this conversation. We're like, well, what are we doing? What do we want out of life? And one of them says, I want to have sex.
Yeah.
I want to know what it's like. And I mean, we've all been there. We've all been at that age where that's all you can think about. Yeah. And all of a sudden, everyone, just the firecracker goes off and they're like, oh God, sex. And it just hits them. Yep. And that's the whole show.
They're realizing that their horizons are expanding.
Yes, very much so.
Their feelings and emotions are expanding through what is, puberty, pretty much.
Yes, it's all hormones and emotions and the anxiety that's tearing them apart. And in the end, maybe it pulls them together, Roger.
Maybe. But if you were to say that you did not feel something like this when you were probably their age, male or female, I would say that you're probably lying.
Well, I mean... There are people who don't experience sexual attraction.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But
that's fair.
It is definitely a thing that I feel like most of the population can relate to. It's like, regardless of who you are or where you're from, you're going to see something here that, like, it clicks with you, I think.
Yeah, and I think there's an extent to where at least everybody has this at least somewhat of a desire for companionship.
And if not even that,
whether it be sexual or not, it just
and even at that, you'll see stuff in here where like people are, even if that's something you can't relate to somehow, there are points in here where like you're seeing people struggle with, why is everyone so focused on it? Even if it's not you,
right?
It's everyone around you might be having.
You
these
even get a
feelings.
really great character that she doesn't understand why they're focused on it in a certain way. She doesn't understand because she doesn't feel it herself that way.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Speaking of characters, let's just jump right into characters in development. And there's a lot of characters in development. We're gonna hit you with the main 5 girls who the show focuses on, and we'll get a few little trickles of other characters in here. So let's start with probably the main girl, Kazusa.
Kazusa, yep.
Yes. Kazusa is, I wrote down basically the main character. It's a fairly average high school girl. She's dealing with friends and grades, and also deals with the glares of her fellow classmates because she has been friends with the school heartthrob Izumi since they were little kids.
He gave her samurai hair.
He did, and that's a thing that we won't talk about. There's a flashback you see where, yeah, it's funny.
It's funny. It's hilarious.
It's kids doing kid things, little small children.
Yeah.
But yes, basically, she's getting a decent amount of jealousy and hate from other girls in her class because he's like the super cutie in the school, and they spend a decent amount of time together, and people are like, what's she got going on, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And all the while she is hesitant to admit that, yeah, she is super hot for him. She is crushing on this dude who she's known for so long.
They also live next door to each other.
Yes, they're like right next door to each other.
They're childhood friends. They've known each other their whole lives.
Yes, very much so. You want to move on to Sugawara?
Yeah. Nina Sugawara. She is one of Kazusa's best friends.
Yeah, she's actually like not much for friendship overall in the show, you find, but she does admit that she really values Kazusa's friendship. And the real crux of her arc comes from when she slowly begins to realize she maybe has feelings for this Izumi guy, and now she's caught between a crush and her friendship that she doesn't want to lose either one.
And Sugawara is also a very talented actress. She's a very young actress. She's extremely talented, and she is also, to at least most of the guys in the school, very attractive.
Yes, she's got a lot of poise and grace and beauty, and she is. They call her, what do they call her? The Crane.
Yeah, the Crane.
Because she's so
her
slender,
fragile
and,
beauty.
Yes, ooh, which is like, all right, kind of a weird way to put that, but I get you. She's also very pensive. She's very, what's the word, like, not sad, like kind of melancholy about it.
Yeah,
like she's got this kind of like
I would say melancholy is probably
pensive nature to her, where she's like very introspective,
apprehensive,
maybe. And she doesn't talk much. When she does, she tries to be cool about it.
Yeah, she also tries to be very mature, or at least seems like she's very mature.
She definitely tries to. And let's just hit this one right now. We talked about how she is a very talented actress and she took some acting classes.
Yep. Let's go
Here's
ahead.
one of those uncomfortable bits. You're gonna see some scenes where she's interacting with an older guy who is a straight up pedo.
Yeah.
She was essentially groomed at a very young age.
He was her teacher.
And she does not maintain, I wouldn't call it a relationship with the guy, but she does still see him as definitely an overbearing figure in her life.
And she also like kind of views him as somebody that it seems like she wants to maintain, like have a high impression of her.
Yes, she cares so much what this guy thinks, and of course she does.
Yeah,
she was groomed by him. Yep, that's the whole point of it. It's fucked up.
There's some deep stuff, like some really deep stuff in the show.
Yeah, man, it goes to some dark places. As we said, it gets kind of uncomfortable, y'all.
That there are some scenes with him that are extremely uncomfortable. So
yeah, and we'll get to that later, I'm sure. Let's move on to, let's talk about my girl Momo. Momo is perfect and has never done anything wrong.
Yeah, she's so kind.
I love her. She's shy, she's kind of quiet. She spends most of her time trying to keep this group of friends, this literature club, from imploding due to their hormones and several misunderstandings.
Yeah, she's always mediating between the people.
Yes, but at first, she's kind of just like, on the outside, she's kind of like the quiet friend. Her real arc comes when there's a guy in class who turns out like kind of likes her, and maybe she kind of likes him, and they go out a little bit, and she kind of realizes she's not really into guys.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that for right now.
Yeah.
It's a great character,
and
she's perfect and has never done anything wrong.
And she's done very well. Like they portray her feelings extremely well to somewhere like, you know, somebody like me. I could understand. I understand where she was coming from.
Yeah, as a couple of like 30 and up dudes, we can still relate to this high school girl in this cartoon because they really nailed the development on these characters.
Yeah. Oh God, they sure did.
You really understand where they're coming from pretty much at all times.
You want to talk about Hongo?
God, Hongo's got problems.
Oh, she looks like your boy Mob.
She does kind of look like Mob. She looks like, you know what she looks like is, what's that Pokemon that like looks like the cat with the weird hair? You know what I'm talking about?
Hitmontop?
No, it's like a little fuzzy cat thing that like has the big bug eyes and it's got the goofy hair. I don't know. She looks like one of them. Maybe. She looks like one of them.
Meowstic.
Anyway, probably. But point is, she's short. She's dark, she's mysterious, she is somewhat standoffish.
Yeah.
She is a writer, an author who is trying to get published, but she's having difficult with her art and with her medium because she doesn't have any experience in the type of thing she's wanting to write. She specifically is having trouble with these love scenes. Her publisher at one point tells her, hey, this sounds like it was written by a 40-year-old dude.
Yeah.
This is nothing. And that's the problem she's having, and so
a lot of her experience comes from chatting with a character online.
Yes, and so her solution for that is, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go out and get some experience.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Here's one thing. Let's talk about this right now. This is a Marie Kondo manga that was made into an anime, and boy, oh boy, our girl. She has a habit of writing characters who make terrible decisions.
Yeah. Boy, do these characters make terrible decisions.
Make some terrible decisions.
Hongo makes some of the worst decisions almost.
I dare say.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a really fun character. Very standoffish. Very like, she's almost like.
Sorry, Mario Kata is what I meant to say.
She seems kind of like that angry person in school. Like, you're very like, she's almost unapproachable. She's not. But that's kind of how she comes off a bit. She's very dry.
Yeah, but again, this is something that I fucked up the name a second ago. Sorry, Mario Kata. This is a thing that you're gonna see with her work, and if you've experienced any of it before, which I have not, I've seen a little bit since.
Yeah.
Ooh. But that's kind of a running thing with her. This is people who are trying their best and making terrible decisions, and you are going to see a few of them. Let's move on to our last of the main five.
I love her.
Sonozaki.
Yeah, Rika Sonozaki.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's the club president. She's very serious.
Yeah.
And
she's a stickler.
Yeah, she's also more than a little bit of a prude.
Yeah.
She tries desperately to avoid any kind of talk of relationships and sex and all that because she's so terrified that it's going to corrupt her. She literally has a freaking sign on the outside of their club room that says purity.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying so hard to stay a pure maiden. But when a boy in her class suddenly starts to show a little bit of interest in her, it begins to free her doubtful mind.
Kind of melts her a little bit.
It melts her cold heart, Roger.
Yeah.
That's angry.
And it leads to some really cute scenes.
Yes, it's great.
She has some of the cutest scenes in the show.
It's good time.
But yeah, she's a really good character. She's very smart. She's a girl with. She's almost that stereotype.
Yeah, they kind of do pull a like
the
90s.
Girl that takes her glasses off.
You pull the glasses
oh my God,
off.
she's hot.
They kind of pull a she's all that with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of do, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I didn't even catch that until just now, but yeah, they absolutely do that. She basically like.
They don't go over the top with it, really.
It's not like. Well, that's the
it's
thing.
not offensive.
But that's the good thing about it is because what happens usually in those types of stories is like, oh, there's this nerdy girl. Man, you know, if she just dressed better, take those glasses, she'd be so hot. And then like somebody gives her a makeover, and all of a sudden she's so hot.
Yeah.
No, she does that herself. She takes her destiny in her own
and literally all she
hands.
does is takes her glasses off.
Well, she does get a haircut.
Okay,
she does change her hair and she does wear some makeup
and stuff.
She does wear a little bit of makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
She switches it up, but she makes her own decision to do that. And good for her.
Yep.
Good for her. Good stuff.
Yep. Very cute. And her little scenes with her guy that likes her.
It's fucking adorable.
Yeah,
it's so cute.
The way that he tells her that he likes her
was very cute.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, this shows. I'm just.
It
smiling
was one
now.
of my favorite moments in the whole series.
I'm just smiling in the.
But
studio.
that's our main characters there.
Yes, and that is probably the bulk of this review is just those characters because like. Man, like everything just revolves around them so much, as well it should. It's a coming of age story. It's a dramatization with a bunch of comedy thrown in.
They do very well at keeping the characters complex, and there's a lot of depth to them.
Yes.
Like I know that we kind of gloss over them, but there is a lot of substance to these characters.
There is a lot,
and even
of depth.
side characters and characters that spin off from them. Lots of substance to almost everybody around.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting point. Is like the very first thing you see in the intro here is all of them standing in a shallow pool of water, and it's like, nah, dog, this hoe deep. Mm-hmm. This hoe gets deep. Let's move on to the art and animation, though, my big guy.
Yeah. So this would be I think the weakest part of the show to me.
I personally was into it.
Yeah.
It's got this almost kind of a watercolor look to it.
Yeah, but it's got this kind of like haze layer over it. It makes it look very washed out.
It is very washed out.
One thing that I will say that I do like about it, I like the simplistic style.
Yes.
I like that it's almost like the closest anime that I can compare this to, like the way the character models and stuff are, is Initial D.
Sure.
It looks very Initial D-esque. Also, they do this kind of cool effect where, like, their clothing and stuff, they move, and there's like this artifacting, like this.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's a
it
thing.
Makes it look felty or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like something I've seen in like older shows where like it kind of feels like they're moving, like there's a solid, like there's just a flat paper there, and you're watching them move like across it. Or whatever.
It adds an interesting layer of texture.
Yeah.
However, for me, the manner in which they use that white filter, whatever it causes it to look so washed out, was so damn distracting to me through the whole damn thing that the character designs that I really liked, plus the really cool artifacting thing, if they would have just done it a clear take on it, I would have been so much more receptive to it, but it's just not for me.
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get that. For me personally, I was really into it. The only thing I will say in this, I can't really dock the show for this.
Yeah.
But it is on High Dive, and High Dive's freaking subtitles are not suited to this kind of thing.
Yeah, they do not work well with it.
Yeah, that's the only problem I had with any of it. But personally, I was really into the art style. I thought it was quite good. I mean, it's not a perfect score, but it's decent. Yeah. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's watchable. It didn't... the washout nature of it did annoy me, but it did not ever prevent me from enjoying this show.
It was never so pervasive you couldn't do it. Okay. How about the music and sound, my big boy?
I thought it was really good. The first thing that I would like to talk about in the OP is I love at the beginning they have these little monologues, these little callbacks to each other. And sometimes they say the same thing, and sometimes it changes. Yeah. And sometimes they bring a thing back. I thought it was very cool.
Yeah.
It was super interesting.
And they kind of change it through.
Yeah, and the opening and intro songs were very cute. I liked them.
I really, really love the outro. Yeah. It has this little like call and response thing where the person singing it is like having a conversation with God. Yeah. They're literally like saying, hey, what does it say? God, hey God, oh, what's up? Tell me, what do you want to know? Blah, blah, blah. And they're just having a conversation with God. And then it goes into this whole like, again, it's a coming of age story, so they're talking about how like I recorded a video for myself in the future, but then I deleted it and all this stuff. It's very fun. The art's very good in the intro and outro. Yeah, it's just a fun
I thought
thing.
They were very
the
cute.
Music during, for the most part, is fine. There's two bits in episode 1 and episode 10. I went back and watched it just to make sure, where they have these tracks from a band called Blue Hearts. Yeah. And they freaking rock.
They totally rock.
They rock so hard. It would be cool if they had a little bit more in
that would be my one complaint about the soundtrack, is that the ending of the opening episode. Yes. It led me to it's so good that it led me to believe that this is something that's going to happen more. And it happens only one other time. Yeah. Which, I'm glad it happened even the one time.
At least they brought it back a little bit.
It was very memorable. Like, it pulled me into the show, and I think it would still do that even after somebody hears this review and goes to check it out. I think it would still pull them in because that scene is so cool. Sure. However, it did kind of like, I was like, man, it didn't happen.
Kind of got your hopes up. Yeah, I totally get that. And I will say though that I do like the sound design, the way they did it, because that first one is like, we're not gonna like spoil the first episode. Just watch that first episode and tell me you don't want to watch more, is all I'm saying. Watch that first episode to the end and tell me you don't want to watch the rest of this show. But the end of that first episode, there's a bit where she's like, Kazas is walking up these stairs, and we're not going to say what happens, but she hears this music playing, and it's very soft. It literally sounds like it's coming from this room that she is walking toward. And then she gets there, and she's hearing it like it's on the radio or something. And then she runs out, and you're hearing it like blasting. And I really love the way they like kind of played with the levels and stuff there to make it sound like that. It was very cool. They do a similar thing in episode 10 when that other song, I believe it's Chain Gang by Blue Hearts, comes in. You're listening, like you're seeing someone walk through the streets of this town, and you're seeing someone in a karaoke bar singing this song, and then it's like playing throughout the show. It's very cool, very interesting sound design. I really like how they pulled that off.
It was cool.
Very cool. All right, let's move on though.
The je ne sais quoi. The only thing that I could really say in this thing is like this. I would like to think that it could be for everybody, but
you know it's not.
I know that it's not. And some of the scenes, even to me, where I'm like hardened, like I had to really question, like is this okay to be watching with the pedophilia scenes? So like it does have resolution, and it does, and I was worried that it wouldn't.
Yeah,
it does. I will confirm that for anybody. It does have resolution. It is still like it's pedophilia. It's uncomfortable.
Well, see, that's the thing though. Is like this is a conversation we had before. Is like when I watch this show, it's like the first time they introduce this character, it's Sugawara Nina talking about this character who she interacted with when she was a very young kid, and she's telling this other character about it, and it cuts back to that character she's talking to, and he's got this gross look on his face. He's like, dude, that guy's a straight up pedo, and she's like, yeah, I know. So it's just immediately confirming, this is a bad person.
It calls him out for it, and
this guy is for sure,
for
sure this guy's the villain. Like they give you scenes later where like, for sure he's a bad guy. It's not just like, oh, here's a dude and there he goes. It's not, he is the villain for sure. And like at least it does that much. But like when I look at that, and then I look at other shows where it's like, here's a teacher, here's the male teacher, and here's all these female high school students he's teaching, and they get into these wacky sexual situations, and I'm like, okay, but that guy's a pedo. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Sure.
And here, at least, they called it out.
Yeah, they called it out.
That's the thing for me.
However, I would say that my counter to that is that this one, in a couple spots, gets a whole lot more contacty than even some of the wacky sexual situations.
I've seen so many shows where grown dudes are falling into schoolgirls' tits. You can't. Come on now.
Okay,
and that's played for a gag. That's the thing.
But also,
here,
it's not like
played
they're
for
like
a gag.
I get that, and also that's more on the people writing it, because they wrote the dude to slip and fall or trip or whatever. So you have that sort of innocent nature to play it off. On this one, he's straight up like it's uncomfortable. That's all I'm getting at. Like I'm not trying to like
it's certainly uncomfortable. And it's a thing that like,
and it's supposed to be uncomfortable.
It's meant to be uncomfortable. That's the thing. It is uncomfortable. There is resolution to it and whatnot. You see, like, you want to see this guy get his comeuppance, and he does to some effect. And that's the thing. But like, I can't. For me personally, like watching this, despite all that, I felt more comfortable watching this than like a lot of those funny comedy shows where it's just like a dude creeping on some girls.
Sure. Okay. That's like, totally fair.
Easily.
I'm sure that I've watched my fair share of dude creeping on shows and played it off because it's funny. I'm not saying that I'm insane or anything. All I'm saying is that like I know those shows make other people uncomfortable.
For sure.
And this will certainly probably still make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, I get that. For me, other than that, I would just say, again, like we said before, there's a lot to relate to here. I can't really imagine all that many people who haven't felt something that you're seeing in this show at some point in their life. But again, I can understand how people would be perturbed by some of this subject matter. It does get kind of dark at times. It does get pretty uncomfortable. Overall, though, I feel like it ends up being a very heartfelt and uplifting story. It's very funny. I cannot stress enough how hilarious this thing is.
Yeah, it's
like
very
literally. Again, you watch that first episode and tell me you don't want to watch the rest. I can't remember the last time I laughed so hard. There were so many moments where like people are just calling out each other on shit, and I'm just like, bitch. Like it's so funny. It's so good. But yeah, it's easily my favorite show this past season. I really enjoyed it.
I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
You want to get on the scores? Let people know how much we enjoyed it?
Let's hit the scores, big boy. How'd you feel about the story and set?
I gave it a solid 2.
Solid 2. How about the characters development?
I gave them a solid 2.
Solid 2. You can't give it anything but.
Yeah, those are really strong.
How about the art and animation?
I gave it a 1.
I went ahead and gave it a 0.5. I was into the art style. Really.
Okay, a 1 or a 1.5?
1.5.
Okay.
How about the music and sound?
I gave it a 1.5.
1.5 as well. And finally, the je ne sais quoi?
The je ne sais quoi, I gave it a 1 because I don't think I could recommend it to everybody.
Fair's fair. I went ahead and gave it a 1.5. I did dock it a little bit because, again, there are those uncomfortable moments, but I don't know. I feel
There's
like
even some of those like cringy moments that I felt like you probably wouldn't like.
I mean, that's the thing. It just, all of it, the thing with cringy moments and stuff. So I get secondhand embarrassment very easily.
Yeah, those office moments.
I get secondhand embarrassment very easily. This is a thing we've talked about on the show. A thing I've talked about with you before personally. And like, I feel like the real thing with those is like, for some reason, it's worse for me if I know it's just made up. Whereas this, all of it felt so real.
Yeah, sure.
That I was fine with.
I would say that the almost like cringy office moments or whatever are mostly with Hongo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, that one dude should just be arrested. Like, he's trying to teach her. There's a bit where like someone's trying to teach her a lesson, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you should just be arrested.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, what does that bring your total up to?
That takes me up to 7.5 points. That is an Animos definitely for me.
Very nice.
Right
that
in the
puts
middle.
Me at a 2, 4. I'm just counting them up again.
I'm gonna get
8.5.
8.5. So that is a right in between an Animos definitely and an Animazing for you.
Yeah, man. I would
somewhere right on the cusp.
I don't know. I kind of want to push it up a little more, but I feel like I got pretty honest with that one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's about where I would.
Yeah, I felt like this was a pretty honest review from both of us. I really enjoyed it.
I
almost feel like even looking at 7.5, like I feel like I've given things a higher score, but it just, I don't know. It's just how I interpreted what it came out to be. I think what really, like, normally I'm more forgiving on the art and animation, but it was that damn washed out nature.
Yeah, it's very washed out. I will say that again. I like the art and animation. A thing I would say about this one that really hit it home for me. It's a thing that I said about. Once again, I'm forgetting the name of that show that I loved so much.
Sarah's on mine.
No, the one that you weren't as into because of the ending of it.
Bloom Into You.
Bloom Into You. It reminded me a lot of Bloom Into You. And kind of a Stars on My.
It was way better than Bloom Into You, in my opinion.
Sure. But I would say, like, for me, the thing that really got me with this one was just like Bloom Into You and just like Sarah's on My to a point, it deals with such explicitly, undoubtedly sexual content without really sexualizing the characters.
Yeah.
There's maybe one scene, 2 scenes in here I can think of off the top of my head that were like, this is like for sure a sexy thing is happening and this character is being sexualized at all. For the most part, it's just like they're dealing with this sexual stuff without, and just being like, but yeah, they're just normal people.
Yep.
Which is like, just good.
Yeah. It's an excellent show. I highly recommend it.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Y'all should definitely check it out. Let me tell you what we're going to be watching next week. Oh, well, kind of. So I'm actually not even going to tell you what we're reviewing. It's going to be a little mystery up there. We're going to have a jack-o'-lantern because we're going to record our episode normally of this thing. I will say that it's something older. We've got some requests to do some older stuff, so we're going to do something older, and we're going to release it on Halloween. So it'll be on that Thursday, the 31st. I don't know, man. It's something cool. Yeah. Brandon's chuckling over there, but
we're gonna try. The thing is, like, it feels like it's gonna be like, ooh, look how spooky, but it's like,
it's a Halloween anime as much as what is it? Die Hard is a Christmas film.
Stop.
But I mean, it's kind of the same, right?
I guess. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have a thing for you soon.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be fun.
So get hyped for that. We're gonna blaze on into the ramble here. Quick plugs for the YouTube, yeah. So leave us a comment. If you're watching this on the YouTube, like it, comment, subscribe, click that bell so we can ding your dong, etc., etc. Yeah. We really appreciate you guys. We'd love to get some more questions from you. Actually got one coming up in the ramble. That'll be fun that we missed apparently.
Yep.
But shout out to our good buddy Haas for the use of our closing theme song on the YouTube portion of the show. That is The Buddy's Good. And I think we about got there.
I think so, dude.
Yeah, full links in the description below. We will have the full plugs at the end of the ramble. If you're listening to the podcast version of the show, we're just gonna ride on into it and love y'all.
Love you too.